Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you for joining us this Sunday in our continuous navigation of where we find ourselves today. So we are now in a state where we were starting to see the spring energy coming through, and I want to go back to the use of the equinox, the natural cycle of life, and we are now in the time period where the equinox energy, the spring energy, is starting to manifest itself. And I want to take this opportunity to just bring our focus back to the event that the center had put together, the Flame Center had put together last week, to create this global intent, to create this global space, to create this collective intention in order to bring an intention for the welfare of all existence, all humanity. The intention for individuals to take responsibility and to help create, co-create a world, a paradigm which the old one is now dead, and we are simply with the carcass of it at the moment, and the new paradigm has not quite yet manifested. So this is a phenomenal opportunity to use this energy of the equinox to align ourselves with that intention. What makes the intention work, manifest? So intention, knowledge, action. What makes the intention manifest is to hold it, to maintain that intention for not just that period, as we move on. Is in particular a particular intention, that intention begins to gain momentum. It's like the spark is created into the flame, and it needs at least 3 days of momentum to do that. And so all these individuals from around the world who had different ceremonies, different ways of collectively contributing to this energetic shift, have in fact genuinely helped change the mood of many people who participated. And this demonstrates the impact of our collective consciousness. Only we are responsible for the chaos that we've created. We can't blame anyone else. We, as human beings, have been a little bit complacent. We've given our power of creativity, our power of sovereignty, and our dignity to those who we think are going to represent us. The represent. Remember, that word is a very telling word. To represent. To represent. And that can be represented in a different way. And so humanity has allowed either dictators to rule it, or other systems of democracy and governance, which have really then just fed those who are in power. Whether it is in the East, in the West, it's the same old game. So humanity is moving into a new paradigm when much of this information is now available. People are awake to it. Well, a number of them. I wouldn't say all of them, but many people are beginning to see that this is a great opportunity. So we contribute collectively into this. And really what I want to do is to just spend a few moments to help us realign our intent to the intention of this continuous contribution for the welfare of whole. And the welfare of whole always starts with your welfare. It depends where you are. So there are a few things in our process that we have been learning. So we've been learning how to meditate. We've been learning how to sustain that. We've learned how to look after ourselves from a mental health point of view, physical, emotional, transpersonal health. And now we are moving into the space of recognizing sovereignty, recognizing dignity, and saying, all right, so if I recognize that, what can I do with this? And this is where intention, knowledge, action becomes your pathway. And a pathway, because in order to create an environment that is healthier, that is freer, it's very easy to give your rights away, very easy to give them away, but it takes sometimes generations to fight them back. Just go back to the slavery. Go back to how one religious group treats other religious group, or gender inequality, or disabilities, or racial inequality. These rights have had to be fought. And now we are realizing that the rights that have been given away, the right to meet, the right to greet each other, the right to um, congregate, the right to worship together, the right to uh, meet friends, families, the right to walk without covering your face, the right, in fact, if you look at it, there are some countries in the Middle East where you can't walk on the streets, particularly if you're a woman, without. So the right to be who you are has been taken from those individuals, and the right there is that in order to be seen in public, the dress code that needs to be adhered to. Again, the right to be the right how to dress has been taken away. Say for example, in that country, and in other Eastern countries as well. So we can see that in order of the right to drive, until recently, I think again, Middle East country, women were not really considered to be equal in order to be having access to driving and transport and moving, and etc., etc. And therefore they were chaperoned, etc. That right to drive is quite a recent right that had to be fought in order to be gained. So the realization that 12, 18 months into this stuff, we are starting to now realize that over the last 12, 13 months in particular, life has become another way, a new paradigm is starting to now be carved out. And this paradigm is on a knife edge. It's up to humanity. It's up to you and me and others to decide which side this paradigm moves into, because the old paradigm is breaking down, and it will affect many things as we're going along. It's already affecting the health system. Soon you will find that it'll affect governance. It'll affect, now the protests have started as we anticipated. Again, this energy will only rise, creating yet more difficulties for governance. Economic structures, banking structures, many structures, social contracts are now in the process of dismantling. So it's really important to look, to prepare and not need is better to need and not prepare. So it's better to look at it and say, yeah, this is a possibility. And if this is a possibility, what is of value to me? And what's value to you is your health and well-being, because without that, nothing else works. The second thing is, connect to people. Make sure that there are groups of people that are there to help and support, and communities moving back to those systems, those communal systems that depend and interconnect with one another. This is where humanity is now forced to look at itself, that it wasn't in charge. As much as it thought it had its freedom, the freedom was taken away in a click. In a click, it was taken away. And that freedom now, a new paradigm is starting to emerge. And in this paradigm, you can actively play a part in order to move it into a particular direction. And as long as you are aligned with critical thinking, listening to your heart, making sure that you have time for stillness and silence within yourself, because only you have the answers for yourself. Giving our power to the other, giving our decision making process to the other, significant consequences, and we are now in those consequences. Yet we are blessed. Remember that we are so as a life form in this moment and in this time to see this change happening and to be able to participate in it is indeed a blessing. It is indeed a blessing. You, me, none of us chose our birth. Doesn't matter who says what, right? But if you can't remember choosing your birth, then you know what? You can't remember. I can't remember choosing my birth. So, as far as I'm concerned, I am a product of my mother and my father. I am a product as you are and as everyone else is. The mango is a tree, is a product of the mango tree, and so on and so forth. It is a fractal, right? That's like fractal is. So, this fractal is now unfolding, and a fractal is something that keeps repeating itself, right? So, if we can uh, uh, gravitate towards a worldview that is based on self sovereignty and dignity, because that's all you need. You don't need anything else. Everything else is a byproduct of that. The first thing is to recognize how blessed you are, how incredibly fortunate moment this is in your state of experience, that you will never go through this again, ever, ever. Heaven is something that is nothing more than a fantasy. Hell is nothing that more. These are future orientated fantasies, right? All you, I, everyone has is this moment now. And if we can genuinely allow ourselves to render to the moment of now, just for a moment, just for a moment, we will realize that there's an undercurrent of movement, power, Shakti, whatever you want to call it, a undercurrent that is certainly keeping everything going, that is maintaining all that there is in its construction and in its deconstruction. So, as the old system is being deconstructed, we are now in the process of being able to reconstruct that and reconstruct that through new technology, through magnetism based electrical generators, through cryptocurrencies, through non centralization, through taking sovereignty for ourselves. And we are now in that moment today. We are now there. So, the next month, as we move into April and May, we will begin to see the impact of this release. And that's where the protest happens. So remember, energetic space. It goes in, it goes out. It goes in, it goes out. And every time it goes out, it becomes a little bit more expansive. So we are now moving from the winter, the constraint, the inability to celebrate or participate in celebration. All of that needs to come out. So there is a reaction to it. That frustration leads to the protests, to the energy of saying, hold on, you know what? This is just getting ridiculous. Just think for yourself. Your immunity has kept you alive so far. Just as you did not choose the day you were born, you ain't going to choose the day you're going to go. When the breath finishes, you're off. That's it. There's no two ways about it. No one's going to say, oh, well, I can have another 5 days. No, it's over. Recognizing that bit, that part of our mortality provides us a great opportunity to become embedded in the moment of now, right? So it isn't just simply about meditation. It is a meditation with the nature, recognizing the nature of reality, the nature of existence, not what books are telling you, not what people are telling you, but what you witness for yourself. Because only your experience is your truth. Everything else is belief. Everything else is secondary information, opinions. Unless you've put your hand in the fire, you do not know what heat is. So the same is true for our experiences. And when we see the experiences of life as it's unfolding, these beautiful flowers that you see at the moment coming in a few months' time, you will see they will have withered away, or they will be withering away. Yeah, the blooms disperse themselves in the wind. This is the nature of life. And recognizing the nature of life as a cyclic pattern and aligning ourselves within that can provide us a tremendous opportunity not to just be, um, not to just, the alignment impacts the health and well-being, right? Not in order to just meet the needs of our health, but more importantly, to actually enable purpose, enable meaning to come through by doing what you are doing, not what you're thinking. Many people are now in a space where we can see some divisions happening in our communities, but it's okay. Disengage, um, try not to add to the noise either side, disengage, find your space, sit in your silence, connect to that silence within yourself, because now it is so important. And many people have certainly come back to us, and my experience is the same, that there seems to be an intensity to the just energy, the overall energy around you. Um, and it doesn't, for me, it doesn't feel settled. Doesn't feel settled. I may feel settled in myself, but what I see around me doesn't feel settled. It feels imbalanced, and that balance is going to be restored one way or another, like everything else in life. So as we begin to experience those, it is actually as a result of the higher frequencies that we are now being bombarded with, whether it's cosmic or whether it's artificial. I can't tell you that, but I know I trust my intuition and I trust my inner space and my knowledge to say that these higher experiences are starting to distort reality. And how does it distort reality? It's not that reality is distorted, it's our thinking about reality becomes distorted. Sudden mood swings, sudden conflicts, inner conflicts, memories, dreams that are just random. Um, Repetitive information, like, for example, coming across, I don't know, let's say, um, electrical things not working for a period of time, or seeing the same numbers over and over again. These synchronicities are the universe's way of communicating with consciousness. It's consciousness communicating with consciousness. It's not saying it in words, it's saying it in life itself. And if we can learn to read and recognize these signals, we can acknowledge them, even if you can't recognize them, to acknowledge them will give you the opportunity to be able to recognize where the universe, existence, consciousness, however you want to put it, is allowing you to navigate for your best benefit, for your highest good. It's always for your highest good, because that is the nature of existence. Everything goes to its highest good, that which it is. The seed always ends up as the fruit, right? That's what I mean by the highest good. That which you can become in your wholeness. So whether you do it now or whether you do it in 100,000 different lifetimes from now, the opportunity is, the choice is yours. But the one thing that we can all be sure of is that this moment now changes to the next moment and the moment further on. It's a continuous process, and there's a start, middle, end. And at this moment, you are conscious enough to know that you're here. So, with that, let us move into our meditation. Let us move us into this state of silence, recognizing that, look, you know, we are all conscious beings. It's a happening, it's a being, it's a happening. It's not a static thing, it's a happening. You're a happening. You're not a static thing, you're a happening, right? And that happening is, you can experience the stillness and silence as the happening unfolds. And this is the essence of being able to go in and sit still. We begin to recognize the happening is happening, yet there is a stillness that is our essential core. Yep. Sun Samad, formless, nirgun, no form, only stillness, silence, knowing, being. So let's see if we can still our awareness to the point where it's not confused and it's not fused with the content of its mind, and it can recognize stillness. So if you can all take a nice comfortable seat while I adjust mine. Okay, and we gently close our eyes. And as you breathe in, becoming aware of yourself. So let's take a moment just to recognize the fact that we have awareness. Or not that we have awareness, because there's no one to have awareness. It doesn't belong to anyone. Let's just recognize awareness for what it is. And as you look within yourself, you begin to sense your body. So first there is a vague sense of the body, but if you hold your awareness within that, if you stay for a little bit longer, so to speak, you will begin to recognize other features happening within your body. For example, you may feel that there is a sensation or a pain or an ache that is currently dominant in your body. So you can take your focus to it. And wherever you take your focus, energy follows. Where awareness goes, energy goes. So taking another breath in, centering yourself a little bit, just becoming aware of yourself. Now take a moment to recognize different sensations within your body. So imagine there's a hula hoop above your head. And as it goes down, you scan your body from your head down towards your forehead, eyes, go across your face, moving down in your own pace, scanning your body. All the way down. And now just see if there's anything dominant in your body, like a pain or ache, tightness, an itch. Move your focus now to the seat you're on. Notice the sensations where the body makes contact with whatever you're sitting or lying on. And then just follow, bring your focus upwards, and then slowly allowing this to slowly enter your thighs. So you become aware of your thighs very gently, gradually moving towards your knees. So notice you can even control the speed at which your awareness moves. So you can do it suddenly, or you can do it gradually. So now we bring our focus down from our knees. like water is dripping down our lower legs all the way to the ankles. From your ankles, you move now to your feet. See if you can sense your feet, your whole feet. And then moving your focus to the soles of your feet. Bring your focus back to whatever you're sitting on or lying, noticing the sensations in your body. And now notice your back. Does it feel straight and upright? Notice your shoulders. Relaxed, not hunched. As you breathe in, bring your focus up your lower back. Notice any sensations. Gently moving up to your middle back. Moving up to your shoulder blades. From your shoulders, if you move your focus down to your elbows. From your elbows, you move down to your wrists. And then notice the palms of your hands. Notice the fingers on your hands. Bringing your focus now to your eyes. Notice the darkness. Allow your eyes to relax. Bring your focus to your mouth. Notice your tongue. Allow it to relax and soften. And as you breathe out, allow your face to soften and relax. As you breathe in, coming back to your body once again, sensing your body first. Notice how different your experience is now compared to when you began. So you created this experience. You are the co-creator, conscious co-creator, consciously creating this experience. Notice what you're thinking. Bringing your focus now to your chest. Notice how you're feeling. Settled or unsettled. And on your next breath out, open your awareness to the sounds around you. Allow the sounds to come to you. Bringing your focus now gently beneath your nose and sitting with your breath. Notice that the breath is breathing by itself. Notice that the in-breath and the out-breath, the length is determined by themselves. It is not you that's breathing, but the breath is flowing. Just notice the flow of your breath. Stay with your breath. Notice the ends of your breath now. See if you can notice the start and the end of your in-breath, start and end of your out-breath. Following your out-breath all the way till the end, notice the little gap at the end of your out-breath. Allowing your focus to follow your out-breath all the way till the end. Going deeper and deeper into this moment. Stay with your breath. Stay with your breath. Notice how you're breathing. How does the breath feel? Does it feel fast? Does it feel slow? Stay with your breath. Does your breath feel short or does it feel long? Does your breath feel smooth or does it feel rough? Stay with your breath. The breath is your teacher. The breath is your friend. Allowing the breath and your awareness to become one. totally absorbed in the breath. Bringing your focus now to the sound of your breath. On your next breath out, open your focus to all the sounds around you. Allow them to come to you, including the sound of your breath. Whatever sounds are there, allow them to be. You're not looking for them. You're not working them out. Simply listening. Some sounds are close to you. Some sounds may be further away from you. Allow your awareness to follow the sound into the silence at the end. And one last time. Notice the nature of your experience. First, there's only one of you having the experience. There's only you, ik. Notice while you are still and silent, everything around you follows the cycle. Start, middle, end, start, middle, end. The breath breathes by itself. The heart beats by itself. The earth revolves by itself. The wind around you blows by itself. Yet you are still. Notice the stillness. Using the sound of the bell, follow it until you recognize the stillness at the end. Stillness is always stillness. Silence is always silence. This is the unchanging nature of what we are. Consciousness, silent, unstained, still. Awareness, this is our sacred space. This is the essence of being. Conscious, creative flow. And in this space, there is no hate, there is no fear. In this space, there is no time. It is eternally now. Eternally now. And this space connects, emanates from your heart. It is the essence of your being. Timeless. This is your form. Unborn, undying, self, present, eternally now. And this sitting in silence was you creating your own experience. You, like everyone else, conscious co-creators. You consciously created this experience. When you're ready, gently bring your focus just beneath your nose, sitting with your breath. Recognizing your awareness, the divinity in your sacred stillness, the presence. Simran is presence. True mindfulness is presence. Your presence. Without form, without color, without age, without time. Consciousness, creative flow, Karta Purk. On your next breath out, expanding your awareness to include your whole body. Notice the stillness. Notice how silent and still the body feels. Notice the sensations where your body makes contact with your chair or your floor or whatever you're lying on. Notice you can sense your hips, your thighs, all the way down to your feet and even the soles of your feet. Notice your back is straight and upright. Shoulders, arms, hands are comfortable and relaxed. Your eyes are still closed, your mouth is still closed, your face is relaxed. Coming back to your breath. And as the breath comes in, notice you can sense the body. As the breath goes out, you can sense the body. Take an opportunity to recognize the beauty and the joyfulness of this moment for you. Just the intention of smiling helps generate an energy. And as that energy fills up your body, when you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw a few deep breaths in and gently open your eyes. Everyone back. Sorry to disturb your peace. Thank you very much. I want to conclude with a few words. Remember, we are conscious, creative flow. We are co-creators. Consciousness creates our life experiences. Matter is an illusion of consciousness. What is true and real and unchanging is your stillness and silence. And that is something that belongs to no one but is everything. So if we can connect to that, we can connect to our source. And may our source be with everyone. Not may your force be with you, may your source be with you. So thank you very much. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be peaceful, may you be safe. And know that you're looked after and life is just starting to take shape. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Hola Malla greetings to all my Nahang brothers and all the Sikhs and holy to all those who celebrate that. Thank you very much. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.